The Piri Reis Map, created in 1513, has become arguably the most controversial and captivating cartographic artifact in modern history, igniting debates about ancient exploration, pre-Columbian contact with Antarctica, and the potential for lost civilizations possessing advanced knowledge. Piri Reis, a Turkish admiral and cartographer of Ottoman origin, compiled this map during a period of significant Ottoman expansion and exploration, drawing upon numerous sources, including maps created by Christopher Columbus, Amerigo Vespucci, and earlier Arab, Greek, and possibly even Egyptian charts. The map primarily depicts the western coastlines of Europe and North Africa, with a particularly detailed and accurate representation of the South American coastline, surpassing the level of contemporary European maps. However, it is the depiction of what appears to be the coastline of Antarctica, specifically Queen Maud Land, that has fueled the enduring mystery. Charles Hapgood, an American historian and educator, brought the map to wider public attention in 1960 with his book Maps of the Ancient Sea Kings, arguing that the map provided evidence of ancient explorers, accurately portraying the coastline of Antarctica before it was covered by ice. Hapgood's core argument rested on the premise that Antarctica, in ancient times, was ice-free and that the Piri Reis map reflected a knowledge of its coastline derived from a civilization predating Columbus and perhaps even the Greeks. He theorized that a lost advanced civilization, perhaps utilizing sophisticated surveying and cartographic techniques, had mapped Antarctica thousands of years ago, and that this knowledge was later incorporated into the maps used by Piri Reis. Hapgood's claims, initially met with skepticism by the scientific community, quickly gained a significant following, attracting interest from both the public and proponents of pseudoscientific theories concerning ancient astronauts and lost civilizations. The map's depiction of Antarctica is peculiar because the landmass is presented without ice, featuring prominent rivers, mountain ranges, and what appears to be a relatively stable terrestrial environment. Critics immediately pointed out several issues with Hapgood's interpretation, primarily questioning his methodology and the validity of his assertions about the map's age and sources. One of the primary arguments against Hapgood's claims is that he failed to properly account for the distortions inherent in map projections, particularly the polyconic projection used by Piri Reis, which is suitable for depicting large regions with relatively constant scale. The polyconic projection, while useful for representing longitudinal extent, can introduce significant distortions in the latitudinal direction, particularly at higher latitudes, precisely where Antarctica is located. By applying the polyconic projection to existing maps, skeptics argue that the features attributed to Antarctica are actually distorted representations of the South American coastline, Greenland, and even the Andes mountain range. The resemblance between the Piri Reis depiction and the Queen Maud Land region is also questioned, with proponents of the distortion argument pointing out that the shape is not a perfect match and that other regions could potentially account for the perceived similarities. Another key point of contention revolves around the dating of the map. While the map itself is dated 1513, the maps used by Piri Reis likely predate his work, potentially extending back centuries. Some researchers suggest that earlier Arab cartographers, possessing knowledge of the Indian Ocean and the southern latitudes, may have produced maps with distorted representations of the southern lands, which were then incorporated into European maps. Furthermore, the notion that Antarctica was completely ice-free during ancient times is also subject to scrutiny. Geological and paleoclimatological evidence suggests that while Antarctica may have experienced warmer periods in the distant past, a completely ice-free continent is highly improbable. It is possible that parts of Antarctica may have experienced reduced ice cover during the Pleistocene epoch, roughly 2.6 million to 11 to 700 years ago. But even these periods likely involved significant glacial coverage. However, proponents of the ancient Antarctic theory counter these arguments by suggesting that the rivers and mountain ranges depicted on the map reflect a period in the distant past, perhaps hundreds of thousands or even millions of years ago, before the current Antarctic ice sheet formed. This necessitates a radical reinterpretation of geological history and challenges conventional understandings of climate change and planetary evolution. The possibility that Piri Reis combined existing maps with new information acquired through exploration remains a plausible explanation, although it doesn't necessarily confirm the existence of a lost Antarctic civilization. It's important to acknowledge that even if the map does depict a distorted representation of a landmass resembling Antarctica, it doesn't disprove that ancient cultures might have had some knowledge of the southern latitudes. The map raises fascinating questions about the extent of human exploration and knowledge in the pre-modern era, and the possibility that ancient civilizations might have possessed a deeper understanding of the world than we currently attribute to them. The debate surrounding the Piri Reis Map is not merely about proving or disproving the existence of a lost Antarctic civilization. It's about critically examining historical sources, questioning conventional narratives, and exploring the boundaries of human knowledge. Recent investigations have focused on the accuracy of Piri Reis's depiction of the Americas, providing insights into his cartographic techniques and the reliability of his sources. These studies have demonstrated a surprisingly high degree of accuracy in the mapping of the South American coastline, supporting the notion that Piri Reis utilized reliable sources and possessed a sophisticated understanding of cartography. However, the accuracy of the Americas does not definitively resolve the Antarctic debate, as the distortions inherent in the polyconic projection could still apply to the southern regions. The ongoing research into the Piri Reis Map continues to generate new perspectives and challenge existing assumptions, highlighting the complex interplay of historical sources, cartographic techniques, and geological evidence. Ultimately, the mystery of the Piri Reis Map remains unsolved, inspiring ongoing debate and captivating the imagination of researchers and enthusiasts alike. The map stands as a testament to the enduring allure of unsolved mysteries and the power of cartography to reveal hidden truths about our world, or perhaps about worlds long lost. It prompts us to consider the possibilities of ancient knowledge, the complexities of map-making, and the enduring quest for understanding our place in the vast expanse of time and space.